Here is your garden, back in the secret shade, which springs the source. He was standing there, recently, when I went. You, have not you ever seen? It is said that plants pay attention in its path and land underwater. They are struggling to sprout where his stick touches the ground. What talk, though? A moment, and then out. I also avoid. A terrible being that transforms everything dwells in it. How can you live with other people? Nothing understand, with strange tension and fixity sad eyes, as after a huge loss. He looked, down to earth, or beyond the shadows, grove on high, as if in the distant blue. His life was lost, and humility of his royal face he gripped, mortified in my heart. Also you will plunge, beautiful star, and will not be long. I sensed it. Life fighting within me rejoined into a whole, and as if weightlessness, sweet childhood, he had returned. I spent many days sleeping and sailing, then, when my being, with fresh joy again deployed, for the first time in the world that I missed so long, and my eyes opened with useful curiosity day. There he was, Empedocles. At his feet would spend hours, and hours be his student, his daughter, looking at its ether, and raise my joy to him, until, at the top of the sky, my mind was lost. But it is not the first who, then, they have thrown the night without conscience from the top of its benign confidence, to forget too the distances in his happiness, excessive, and feeling only themselves. So it was with him. It has been punished with boundless desolation, and, half awake, awful dreamer, and the vast, jubilant life world will be before him as a lost possession, and monstrous desires agitate on his chest, and wherever it is released, the flame will open a free way. Oh, old man, you see things without a name. When the sacred anathema, despite outrageously, its gardens where he lives with taste, who tolerated in the country to mortal, as noted by deserved curse. Oh, next to the sacred tanks, where Monsus water accumulates, and the thirsty they rejuvenate in the torrid day. Yumi springs of life, affluies once, from the depths of the world, and the thirsty they came to me. You overwhelm the abyss, and iniquitous diuersae with narrow bounds. Him, who is born free, which exists by itself, and not anyone else. And I have to suffer as weak in the medroso tartar they forged in the old daily task. And when serene, walk around mortals, and, with your celestial youth, you do shine, favorable light that emanates from you above all things, so that everyone gets the color of your spirit. Life for me poem was also made. I was in a remote summit, and meditated amazed on the sacred madness of men, too deeply moved by your changes, and foreseeing the destiny. Then she breathed the ether, like you, around my chest hurt love, and he healed me, and in its depths, by magic, my riddles were solved. You say, when she rests, she's dead? And so, a new and beautiful was opened. For adolescence, as the meek deer, when the forest murmurs in the distance and remember his crib, so often I throbbed me the heart to tell you the joy, the bliss of the original world. And you do not tresast before me our broad lines of the future. How confident look adds artist, the whole picture a missing member? Do you consider it fair game strong when it is weakened? Tempts the fruit, ripe, it falls to the ground, but believe me, not all ripe for you. But you take a sip of water at noon and tolerates you to your table. Certainly, bad company is pursuing the wounded deer. Ah, go now, at least the abyss, anonymous people, so pure, it soaks of your blood, that this land becomes barren, where the grapes ripen purplish, used for better people, and the fruit of gold in the dark forest, and the noble cereal. And it looks pointlessly, in your home, Lude's grace, the mind, you calm down, among the noble shadows, will become extinct this pain that feeds hidden in his devoted chest. Everywhere like golden clouds, the quiet heart, 100 years. Spring often wished, crazy me, him in his gardens. Friendly toward him with rope's gold, winds curling her hair, and the rain soaked with tears. Face and the sun redried his clothes in the heat of noon, when you were walking along the sand without shade. No looking trodden paths in the rock, with which feed on the prey. Strange as he and suspicious of any wrongdoing, he is to meet. They know nothing of his curse, and they give part of their raw delicacies, with which it can strengthen its members for the walk. Look, near here shimmers water from a source. It is also ours. Taking your glass, hollow pumpkin, and the drink I cool my soul. Clara and fresh and alive, it springs from the dark earth. Father, drink first, then fill it and bring it back. The gods bless for you. The drink for you, complacent old gods, my gods, and for my return, nature. And all it is different, O benign. And before my arrival, are you there? And efflorescence is before ripening. Your appearance is gentle and your splendid word, but I'd rather see you distressed. Ah, I have infamously troubled the serene heart, so magnificent, and more anxious than ever it is now worth. But bellicose it is shown, this lifeless people to feel alive. I tied her hands, and your long time in Kia, he was exasperated at his bonds. I kept damn my spirit, when you could not rest, and so my life I tormented. Certainly noble, more than hunger and thirst, the cowardly torture. And as the meadow in bloom she succumbed, and he died the lush nature youth under your scythe. The leaves, green for crowns and some beautiful names, often in clear nights, when about me beautiful world opened, and the sacred air I enveloped me with all its stars, as a spirit of joy full of ideas. I was many times more full of life. At dawn I thought that I would say the word, grave so long retained, and with joyful impatience invoked and to rise the golden morning cloud east for the new party, which my solitary song it would become. With you in a chorus of joy, gold fruit, grumble forests, and sources of the rocks. When you grip the life of the world, the spirit of peace, and I sate the soul as a sacred lullaby. Then, from the delights of a beautiful sunset, will shine again for you the green of the earth, and the mountains and seas, clouds and stars, the noble forces as heroic sisters, will be offered to your eyes, so that the chest I was eager to throb exploits, and those who carry weapons, and from your beautiful world, then tendeos hands again, giving your word now and share. Goods, O most loving deeds and glory, comparted as faithful diuersae, that is each like all, that as slender columns, new life rests on fair rules, and that the law strengthens your alliance. Friendly breathe around sky flowers, flowering stars, and germinating earth thousands. I feel it as the mariner when approaching forest maternal flowered island, and widens her chest with love. Now the night enfold a moment, shadow my head. The jubilant springs the flame of my undaunted chest, these desires shocked. It is that in death comes on me, finally, life, and you tend me the cup of terror, seething, you, nature, for your candor drink from it not yet, the last of the enthusiasms. I accept satisfied, and I have to, and just look the place of my sacrifice. I'm fine. O rainbow over the water's rush, when the waves take flight in clouds, silver, like you is my joy.